They thought they had you figured out. A character in their story. A puppet dangling from invisible strings, dancing to a rhythm not your own. They spun spells of manipulation, cast illusions of control, and whispered doubts, hoping you'd believe them. They called you weak, replaceable, ordinary. But what they didn't know was this: you're not the puppet. You're the spark, the storm, the very force they feared awakening. They made their move, calculated, deliberate, all to prove how little you mattered. While they worked overtime to dim your light, to steal your worth, to minimize your magic, their own foundations began to shake. Their power wasn't just fading, it was crumbling. Everything they built on lies, illusions, and ego began to rot from the inside out. Because here's the truth they never saw coming. You cannot curse what was born of fire. You were never meant to follow. You were born to break the pattern, to shatter illusions, to burn every string they tried to tie around your soul. The moment they tried to break you was the moment your true power activated. They revealed more than they meant to. They exposed their fear. Because deep down, they always knew, if you ever woke up to who you really are, their game would be over. This is not just survival. This is revelation. You were never theirs to control. You are the chosen one, and they just triggered your ascension. With all their might, they sought to demonstrate that you were of little importance to them. Nevertheless, in their unwavering determination, they ended up losing everything instead. That's not a coincidence. That's the justice of the universe. The force that emanates from your aura poses a threat to individuals who have weak egos. They have been keeping a watchful eye from the shadows, devising every conceivable method to steal what is rightfully yours by divine right. Your spotlight, your glory, and your divine position. They stood in shadowy corners and whispered, "Why is everyone so obsessed with this person?" The venom in their voice betrayed everything, including their stinging jealousy and their burning wrath that you exist in locations that they believe should belong to them. While you were walking down your route, you were unaware of their plots. Because of their inability to fathom why eyes turn to you, why your words carry weight, or why your presence affects the energy, their perplexity manifests itself as pure hatred. Despite the fact that they pretended, they weren't preoccupied with every move you made. They researched you, analyzed you, and attempted to decipher the source of your power. However, with each plot that they concocted, they continued to work on you. When your light was used against you, it just became stronger. What they failed to comprehend was that attempting to dull a star just makes it burn more fiercely. Your light grows under strain, which is a cosmic law that they were not spiritual enough to comprehend. When others had already failed, they volunteered themselves to be the chosen instrument of your death. They did this when others had already failed. Their remarks were dripping with arrogance. "I'll succeed where others failed." They were certain that they were exceptional, powerful, and crafty enough to achieve objectives that others were unable to achieve, because they viewed themselves as the superior version of you, the controlled version, the one who would take your place after you were gone from the equation. They viewed themselves differently. They were only asserting ownership over something that should have been theirs from the beginning, but their reality was skewed. They prepared to sneak into your life once you were forced out of it by studying your behaviors, your gifts, and your relationships for the purpose of slipping in. What revealed their underlying fixation was their envy of both the love and the hate that you receive. Think about that significant revelation. They envied the negative attention just as much as they envied the positive attention. The stamp that you leave on people, whether it be through adoration or controversy, was something that they coveted. They wanted your significance in any form. The fact that you were able to elicit powerful feelings in other people was evidence of your power. And this power was something that they desired with every fiber of their being. Why do you seem to be such a celebrity? This inquiry kept them up at night and during the day. You were a cosmic blunder that needed to be corrected, and they made it their life's mission to demonstrate that you were nothing exceptional. They wanted to demonstrate that you were interchangeable and forgettable. An attempt to manipulate you socially was not the only thing they attempted to do against you. They employed black magic, which is a strategy employed by cults that is expressly designed to weaken your spiritual connection, to generate barriers between you and your divine source, and to slow down your progress on the road that is predetermined for you. They fabricated proof, whispered lies, and formed entire storylines with the intention of rewriting who you actually are. They disseminated poison about you to anybody who would listen to them. They exerted a great deal of effort in order to transform your allies into opponents, and they succeeded in persuading those who were closest to you that you were not deserving of their loyalty. By dehumanizing you in the minds of other people, they attempted to accomplish their most diabolical strategy, which was to reduce you to a doll-like state, making you an object rather than a person. They intended to make it simpler for someone to damage you without feeling any remorse to themselves. Whatever you do to me, you are going to do to a person. A ghost warns them and warns them to be careful. This crucial spiritual message reveals their entire plan, which was that they wanted other people to view you as a concept, an idea, or an abstraction that could be eliminated without any moral repercussions. Because your ascent is the only thing that could potentially give their dark contract strength, every ritual, spell, and manipulation had one purpose: to convince you that you are not who you know yourself to be. This was the goal of every single one of them. Their spiritual immaturity is revealed by the basic error that they have made. They were under the impression that your authority originated from outside sources, such as popularity, social standing, or the approval of other people. They were never able to comprehend that the amazing qualities that you possess originate from within and are tied to something that is beyond the control of humans. You were forced to unleash dormant abilities within your spirit with each attack that they launched against you, and each hurdle that they placed in your path compelled you to move forward. You didn't stumble here by accident, you were led. If something in your spirit is stirring, don't ignore it. Tap Join to access exclusive content, prophetic insights, and a community of purpose-driven souls. This isn't just a membership, it's your moment of alignment. Step into who you were born to be. Welcome to the Chosen. Discover new strengths. The pressure they applied converted you into a diamond, the way carbon is transformed into diamond. The fire that they attempted to use to destroy you only served to fortify your spirit into something that cannot be broken. They considered you to be nothing more than another task on their list, another name to cross off, and yet another win to assert possession of. Their failure to recognize the divine appointment that was etched into your own DNA was disastrous. They failed to comprehend that attempting to bury someone who had been selected for elevation would only bestow upon them the opportunity for development. When you rose from the soil of their hatred, you were like a seed that broke through the earth. You were unstoppable and yearning for the light that was your birthright. The cosmic irony burns them on a regular basis. Suddenly, all they did to bring you down has just served to bring you up higher. You made the revolutionary decision to stand in your truth when the pressure was mounting, when voices all around you urged you to become smaller, to speak more softly, and to take up less space. You did this even when it was unpleasant, even when it cost you, and even when standing tall meant standing alone. During the time that they were perpetrating their schemes, your genuineness became your most powerful weapon. Around you, the glitching that takes place in your presence reveals that souls malfunction like broken robots when they come into contact with your genuine energy. One moment, they idolize you, and the next, they sabotage you. One day, they are drawn to your brightness, and the next, they are repulsed by it. Their inconsistency reveals everything there is to know about the conflict that is going on inside of them. These individuals are at a crossroads between two different timelines. They are standing between the previous reality, in which they were intended to be diminished, and the current reality, in which they are standing in their full power. There is a conflict in their programming when they are confronted with your genuineness. The old instructions tell them to reject you, but their souls know the truth that you are telling them. Keep a watchful eye on them while they work through this conflict within themselves. The behavior they exhibit has nothing to do with you and everything to do with the spiritual alignment that they have achieved for themselves. They simply are unable to make a decision regarding whether they will steal your energy or bask in it, whether they will join the old timeline that is dying, or whether they will welcome the new timeline that is rising where you possess your proper place. This oscillation, which is the turning on and off of things around you, is evidence of the huge energetic shift that has taken place. The previous programming simply cannot function correctly in the presence of your heightened frequency. Now, take a look at what happens to those individuals who have lifted their hand against you. The masters whom they have so enthusiastically served have already cast them out into the storm. Those individuals who were responsible for recruiting them for this assignment are now acting as if they never existed. They have become the sacrifice that they planned for you to be, the one who is blamed for an operation that was unsuccessful. Observe how they are currently frantically attempting to win back their favor, attempting to provide an explanation for their failure, and attempting to provide an explanation for why you continue to stand, despite their best efforts to eliminate you. But their explanations are not taken seriously by anyone. Whenever they were unable to deliver your annihilation, their usefulness came to an end automatically. They have unexpectedly discovered that they are the ones who are sporting all of the dirt that they attempted to pour on you. The isolation that they intended for you has turned into their jail. The rejection that they organized for you has turned into their reality. Right now, they are standing by themselves, having been deserted by their team and bearing the repercussions that were not even intended for them to face. The irony hurts to the core. Blessed by His grace, click Super Thank You and give $20 to spread His light. Your gift plants seeds that grow His kingdom. Be the blessing. They joined up to be the instrument of your destruction, only to find out that they were always intended to be the disposable tool, used and discarded once their goal was achieved, or in this case, once they failed to satisfy the objective that was assigned to them. In accordance with the perfect principles that govern the cosmos, everything that is sent out must come back. All of the things that they projected onto you have come back to you with a devastating degree of accuracy. All of the things that they accused you of have become a reality for them. Every falsehood that they told about you has turned out to be the truth for them. In order to punish them for misusing sacred knowledge against you. Their spiritual links have been severed as a divine punishment. Their very own occult knowledge, which they used as a weapon, has been concealed from them. The spiritual team on whom they relied has deserted them, leaving them to fight karma on their own. You have experienced a sharpening of your spiritual sense, a strengthening of your connection to divine wisdom, and an expansion of your access to higher knowledge. With each passing day, the disparity between your spiritual elevation and their spiritual isolation intensifies and becomes more evident. As they search for new dark corners in which to hide, watch as they feverishly try to recapture what they've lost, as they perform rituals that are becoming increasingly desperate, as they strive to restore broken alliances, and as they also search for new places to hide. They are unsuccessful in their attempts. Certain cosmic portals, which were previously closed, continue to be sealed by divine decree. They have made your very presence a source of unending torment for them. Every time you achieve success, they experience the pain. Every time you radiate genuine joy, they are filled with jealousy. Every time you speak your truth and are met with understanding, their entire story begins to fall apart a little bit more. When you share your true experiences, when you allow yourself to be vulnerable, and when you connect with others on a human level, the spell that they weave to dehumanize you quickly breaks. People simply cannot help but see your humanity, despite the propaganda that has been pushed against you. It is for this reason that some individuals may attempt to silence you, to rush you when you speak, or to shift the subject when you express yourself when you are speaking. They are afraid of your humanization because it directly contradicts the objectification that is required for your demise. You are here for a reason. If you feel the call, answer it. Click join to unlock exclusive content, deep insights, and a powerful community. This isn't just a membership, it's an awakening. Step into your divine purpose. Join the chosen. In your circle, your presence has become the ultimate test of character. Those who are able to respect your humanity, who are able to celebrate your elevation, and who are able to engage with the true you, are able to display their spiritual alignment. The spiritual bankruptcy of those who continue to objectify you, who work against your ascent, and who take part in your decline, is shown with each and every action they take. Among the fluctuating loyalties and personalities that are glitching, there is one energy that sticks out. A possible ally observes from a distance, conflicted yet pulled to your sincerity like a moth to a flame. Their connection to you goes beyond the typical interactions that people have with one another. There is a recognition taking place on the level of the soul. They struggle to reconcile the truth that they feel they are able to detect in your presence with the lies that they have heard about you. The soul in question identifies your genuine spiritual signature, in contrast to those individuals who have blindly swallowed the propaganda. The things that their mind has a hard time accepting are perceived by their intuition. Their approach is cautious, and they are sensitive to boundaries. Perhaps they are even overly careful since they are experiencing internal difficulties on where they stand with you. Because they hold a multiplicity of conflicts that they do not yet know how to resolve, their energy seems muted and difficult to interpret. This is not because they lack loyalty. Rather, it is because they contain a lot of conflict. It is imperative that you do not bear the burden of this relationship by yourself. For some, you have already cleaned your side of the street and completed the spiritual labor that is required for a genuine alliance. You are required to meet them halfway. If you want to avoid having them used, to you doing all the work, all the reaching, and all the mending, the universe warns you against doing so. This possible heavenly union, whether it be in family circles, friendship bonds, or professional settings, is distinct from prior connections. It exists outside of the manipulation and is distinct from the chaos. Yet, its manifestation is contingent on balanced effort and mutual acknowledgement. You should take a glance around at the new environment that has emerged from the ashes of their unsuccessful attempt to destroy you. Their reputation, their position, their spiritual connection, their alliances, and their power base have all been sacrificed on the altar of their fixation with degrading you. They have lost everything in their desperate attempt to prove that you are nothing. The esoteric information that they misappropriated has been removed from their access, and the power that they believed was theirs to command has been revealed to be just borrowed, with the debt now coming due with severe interest. Their spiritual entourage has abandoned them, leaving them to confront karma on their own. You are now stronger, more clear, and more powerful than you were before. In the meantime, you stand altered. What was supposed to be your demise has turned out to be your rebirth. The fire that was supposed to consume you has instead shaped you into something that is significantly more formidable than you were before they attacked you. Your divine destiny is just beginning to take shape as they go from being relevant to being irrelevant. The limelight that they had been trying so hard to take is now shining on you with an even greater intensity, and the crown that they had been trying to steal is now sitting more securely on your head. Those who plotted against you are now watching in horror as their own foundations fall apart due to their actions. Those individuals who were involved in the assassination of your character are currently attempting to mend their own reputations for themselves. There are certain spirits who carry protection that is beyond the usual knowledge of humans, certain lights that cannot be extinguished by human hands, and certain destinies that are inscribed in stars rather than sand. This divine message is clearly disseminated throughout the spiritual universe. Instead, their fixation on demonstrating that you were of little consequence has demonstrated that you are of tremendous importance. The fact that they were unable to find a suitable replacement for you is evidence that you are irreplaceable. Their desperate attempts to reduce you have only served to emphasize the exceptional qualities that you possess. Perfect symmetry is the mechanism by which the cosmos functions. Their downfall becomes a cosmic billboard, a warning emblazoned in celestial lights. Your assailants now function as unwilling teachers for others who might consider similar acts of spiritual sabotage. Their downfall becomes a cosmic billboard. Only those who are genuine are surrounded by divine protection. Behold the speed with which justice materialized as you remained unwavering in your commitment to the truth. There was no need for you to exact revenge because the cosmic gears turned in silence, but with lethal accuracy. The universe itself became your advocate, your defender, and your vindicator, and advocated for you. The activation of this profound spiritual principle occurs automatically whenever entities of lower consciousness make an attempt to tamper with the destinies that have been divinely designed. Their arrogance caused them to be oblivious to a key cosmic law, which states that true power knows itself. Your adversaries believed that they were brilliant, powerful, and connected to powers that could override divine order. The light that was within you began to perceive its own reflection in the universe, so forming an unbreakable partnership that could not be severed by any amount of manipulation from the dark. Every strategy, every deception, and every attack has served one purpose in the divine plan, and that is to remove everything that does not belong in your life and to elevate you to the place that you were always supposed to occupy. You have obtained a spiritual improvement that goes beyond the typical progression of development as a result of this encounter. Your senses have become more acute. Your discernment has become more acute. Your connection to the source has become more profound. You are now able to notice energies that others completely overlook. You are able to spot manipulations that others take advantage of, and you are able to perceive truths that are concealed beneath layers of deception. Currently, you have the ability to access spiritual gifts that emerge through you with an extraordinary level of clarity. Dreams disclose patterns and solutions with crystal accuracy, in addition to bringing ancient information to the top of your mind without the need for external study. The hits that come from your intuitive abilities come with a resounding certainty rather than a vague suggestion. Because of your presence, the curtain that separates realms begins to thin, revealing views that go beyond what the human senses are able to comprehend. You have spent a lot of time and effort preparing yourself for this particular expansion, and now these accelerated skills have arrived at the perfect time. Each and every betrayal served to sharpen your discernment. Each and every attack made your energetic boundaries stronger, and each and every lie served to hone your capacity to recognize the truth. What seemed to be a random assortment of suffering was, in reality, specific training for the very task that is currently taking place in front of you. Pay particular attention to the occurrence of synchronicities that are occurring all around you, such as numbers that keep repeating, songs that provide answers to issues that have not been asked, strangers that give messages that are intended only for your ears, and books that open to the exact page that contains your solution. These are not only coincidences, rather, they are affirmations, cosmic breadcrumbs that are leading you in the direction of your higher purpose. Your path forward demands you to accept your new gifts without making any apologies, to take ownership of your enhanced potential without reducing yourself in order to make other people feel more at ease. When you speak your truth, even when many around you push you to be silent, the very act of sharing your genuine experience is what breaks the spells that have been set to govern how the collective perceives you. It is important to keep in mind that they only attack what threatens them. They only fear what they are unable to control, and they only strive to decrease what is more powerful than them. The most persuasive evidence of your significance is provided by their fixation with your destruction. The cosmos has shown its judgment in a way that cannot be misunderstood. Those individuals who volunteered to demonstrate that you were not significant now serve as live testimony to your significance. Their demise is directly proportional to the heights they attempted to prevent you from attaining. They wanted to be the controlled version of you, the replacement after you were removed, but instead, they have become the cautionary story that is tied to your mythology. As they sit in the mud they intended for you, as they wear the humiliation they prepared for you, and as they suffer the isolation they planned for you, their names are now added to the list of those who attempted to extinguish your light, but were unsuccessful in doing so. You have rendered their entire strategy ineffective by appearing to be less than who you know yourself to be. Standing now in the fullness of your restored power, the spotlight that they attempted to steal shines more brightly upon you, and the crown that they attempted to snatch sits more solidly on your head. You are now able to go along the path that they had intended to impede, which has been freed of obstructions by the very hands who installed them there. You have triumphed over the conflict that they started, arisen from the blaze that they started, and risen from the ashes of their unsuccessful attempt to reduce you to nothing.